We got so close to a bomb and she hardly had any injuries afterwards. A pole was going through 2 people at the same time. Like, what is going on here? Derek Shepherd comes to the rescue, of course. He's problematic as well. Everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessica, 5th year medical student, and I'm back with another video today. And I've got a new background going on. Let me know what you think. Are we liking it? Are we not liking it? So today's video, I am going to be reacting to and roasting, even though I love this show, it's medically problematic at times. And I'm going to be reacting to Grey's Anatomy, most like the scenes that I remember as being wild, absolutely chaotic. And I was just like, what's going on here? Questionable moments, okay? And I'm gonna be like trying to explain the medicine/surgery behind it. Now, if you haven't watched Grey's Anatomy, then it's basically a group of dysfunctional adults who happen to be surgical residents who make quick medical decisions and poor life decisions, and it makes for great TV. We're gonna be watching it together. Okay, so she's having seizures. In a real seizure, you just let the person fit. You don't try and hold them down at all because that's so dangerous.
Okay, she's full on lorazepam. She's at 4 milligrams. Each case, Dr. Bailey and Dr. Shepard.
Lorazepam's not working.
Phenobarbital. Load her with phenobarbital.
So, of course, you do have to say a dose of phenobarbital.
You page Dr. Shepard. I just told you.
And
Page him again. Stat.
What do you want to do?
you wouldn't be paging a brain surgeon for epilepsy, you'd be paging a neurologist. No. Okay, so this person has gone into cardiac arrest. That's what code blue means. Cardiac arrest is when your heart stops working, because that can happen in epilepsy because just everything is just going haywire. The electricity of your body is going haywire. Your heart is pumped by electricity, so your heart can just fail. It's called status epilepticus, and that's like a really bad type of epilepsy. It's a medical emergency. It's life-threatening, as they're showing, but you don't just go straight in with the paddles. You have to first start with chest compressions, and even Dr. Mike does say this in his Grey's Anatomy video. Start with chest compressions always. You don't just escalate to shocking someone. So before you shock someone, you say clear. Everybody who doesn't need to be in the room should leave the room, and you can't be touching the patient, because if I'm electricity and the patient is electricity and you're putting all these volts through her, then everybody touching her is going to get electrocuted. And now she's finally doing compressions, but she's doing it with one hand, and that's just not enough. You ideally want to be on top of the patient, pushing down.
Situation and I need all hands on
This
deck.
Ferry Crash episode was
I'll have
crazy.
details, just orders.
So triage is when you have to assess how serious somebody's injuries are.
You're not pregnant again, are you? Because I can't handle the extra months of bitchiness. We're catching a ride with Seattle 34. Space is tight. Oh, you kids on your lap.
Where are we going?
Well, no, we get there. Fire, fly, volcano. I'm not really dressed for a volcano. Steve, sorry. Inappropriate. Sorry. Whoa. I'm hauling supplies. I only have room for 5. Yang. Yes? Stay with the chief. Take care of the incoming wounded. The rest of you, come on. Stevens was inappropriate. Hey, what was your news? Forget it.
So you're going to a trauma call and you're wanting to catch up with the gossip with your best friend. That's not very appropriate.
When we get there, remember triage. Correct.
Retext, non-emergent, yellow delayed care. Retext needs to be treated.
Good.
So yeah, triage means when you assess, and it's really important when there's a lot of people, for example, that come to A&E or ER, you have to assess who needs help the most, because unfortunately you can't just treat everybody at the same time. There's a bottleneck, so there's limited staff, limited time, limited resources, especially at disaster scenes.
Assess carefully, tag.
Now, I don't know how realistic this is. I'm not sure because I feel like it's paramedics who respond at emergency sites. I don't think doctors just drive into the wilderness and then just on their own judgment do what they need to do. It will be paramedics who triage at the area, then bring them back to the hospital where then now the surgeons can do their thing. And later on in this episode, we see that like Izzy has to has to do brain surgery on somebody with like this mechanical drill. Again, chaotic energy, problematic, wouldn't happen in real life. The risk of infection would just be too high and he would die from the risk of infection.
Appearances happen.
Okay, so all very dramatic.
Pains.
Of course.
Go phantom. Blood stops running.
Yeah, Izzy is just a problematic character in general.
People fade away.
Little mute girl. It's funny watching this because I can't remember the episode completely, but I feel like it's going to get chaotic in a second. And that's just Grey's for you. And then can we just talk about how savage this girl was for just leaving her? I mean, I don't know what was going on there. Why was she mute? What was going on? Derek Shepherd comes to the rescue, of course. He's problematic as well, but you know, let's keep going. Let's keep it going. So she's completely blue here. That means that she's hypoxic. She has no oxygen in her. And she stays this way for like a good few hours. Nobody's gonna come back from life from that. So yeah, just unrealistic. Let's just throw the whole thing in the bin. Okay, so the next one I had to write down straight away, I remembered it, is when there was some type of motorbike accident and somehow a pole was going through two people at the same time and they were still alive, talking, joking. Let's just watch.
It is. T8's completely correct.
So when she says T8, that's basically your spine is made up of different sections. Cervical, which is your neck. Thoracic, which she just said T8, which is like your chest area. Lumbar and sacral. Lumbar is your lower back, sacral is the right at the bottom. And if it's going right through the spine is bone, nerves, blood vessels. If you were to anything to go through your spine, even to touch it a little bit, can cause so much pain and paralysis. So a whole pole going through it, you would be dead. You would be paralyzed from that section down. So with your spine, wherever the lesion is, wherever the injury is, then that's what is messed up basically. So if the injury is there, you're paralyzed all the way down. If the injury is down here, then you're paralyzed from the waist down.
Tequila. I'm keeping an eye on him.
Then she's got a drip in because she came to the shift drunk, and they're giving her fluids, which would get you struck off if you turned up to a shift drunk. Unfortunately, again, this is the triage type moment where you have to weigh up pros and cons of keeping one person alive versus another person. If a situation like this where one person lives and the other person dies, but those type of situations, I can't think off the top of my head what real life situation that would be where directly one person's living contributes to another person's death, if you get what I mean. The bomb, this was just silly. She got so close to a bomb and she hardly had any injuries afterwards. So you see the way that her head just jolted like that so violently, that results in like one of the worst brain traumas, which is called diffuse axonal injury. And it's basically where, because the skull is a tight box and your brain is like jelly, any type of movement like that causes a lot of bleeding. The blood vessels go back and forth, and that can really cause like major disability or even death. So she just, I think the next episode she was up and talking, going back to making problematic life decisions. It's just weird. It's just silly. So now for the famous Denny Duquette. This is a person who had heart problems. He had a terminal heart problem. What terminal means that you are likely to die of that disease. It's not able to be cured. And Izzy falls in love with him. That is obviously so problematic. He is vulnerable, he's on his deathbed, you are his surgeon. The power dynamic is not okay. And the reason that Izzy cuts the LVAD wire is because she wants him to become more ill so that he can get the heart over another patient. Chaotic and unrealistic as well, because junior surgeons, which they are, would not be involved in the decision-making process of who gets an organ or not. They are not skilled or experienced enough to know who is going to benefit from that. And every hospital has an ethics committee, and that is a group of clinicians who are also specialized in ethics, who make those type of hard decisions. And one of the pillars of medicine is justice, and that means that every patient can get access to the same levels of medical care without any external factors influencing that. The only factor that should be influencing that is their medical state. Okay, and right, I'm gonna wrap it up there. I think that's enough chaotic energy for one day. Chaotic. Even though I've roasted this show, this has made me now want to go back and just binge watch the seasons that I haven't, because I'm not gonna lie, we all have a bit of chaos every now and then. Why not? But yeah, I hope you like this video. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe. I think we've just hit 100. So yeah, subscribe and share if you'd like to as well. Write down your times where Grey's Anatomy, you're just like, what's going on here? Yeah, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.